JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, witness in 2022 murder gunned down in Westmoreland. A construction worker was fatally shot along the Carolina Main Road in Petersfield, Westmoreland on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as 54-year-old Linford Barnes, otherwise called Perkins, from the community. Barnes is said to have been a witness in a murder that happened in May of last year. He was reportedly shot and injured in that incident as well. Reports said that citizens heard loud explosions and summoned the police. On arrival of the lawmen, Barnes was seen lying on his left side, suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was subsequently transported to the Savlamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Westmoreland has recorded 32 murders since the start of the year. This is 15 or 31.9% less than was recorded over the comparative period in 2022. Alleged 19-year-old gangster killed during confrontation with Kingston Western Police. An alleged gangster was killed during a confrontation with lawmen from the Kingston Western Police Division on Tuesday. He has been identified as 19-year-old Nicholas Denton, otherwise called Fireball, of Racecourse Lane, Kingston 14. According to reports, Denton was shot and killed in Wilton Gardens. A Browning pistol with 3 rounds of ammunition was reportedly seized from him. The police say residents from the community converged on the police after the shooting and pelted them with bottles and stones. A shot was fired in the air to disperse the crowd. Commanding officer for the Kingston Western Police Division, Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, said Denton, who was a known gang member, was charged with shooting with intent in 2022. Phipps said that based on a request from investigators, the now deceased was warned repeatedly not to visit the Denhamtown area. He, however, did not heed said warnings. Earlier this year was found in Denhamtown in clear breach of his bail conditions. Phipps said he was taken back before the court, where he was readmitted to bail and was again warned not to be seen in Denhamtown. However, to our surprise, he returned to the area where he had a confrontation with the police, which led to his death. The Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau and the Independent Commission of Investigations are probing the incident. 2 fatally shot while unloading delivery truck in Linstead. 2 men were fatally shot during a robbery at Berkshire Hall in Linstead, St. Catherine yesterday. The deceased are 60-year-old truck driver Farrell Bedward and 39-year-old labourer Miguel Jarrett, both of Binloss, Linstead. It's reported that about 3:45 p.m. the men were unloading a delivery truck in the community when armed men approached them. Bedward and Jarrett were robbed of an undetermined sum of money and then shot. The police were alerted. The wounded men were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Businessman killed in St. Catherine gun attack. A businessman was shot and killed at his hardware in St. Catherine on Wednesday afternoon. He has been identified as 52-year-old Simeon Ellis from Old Arbor Glades in the parish. Ellis operates Crescent Hardware. It was reported that around 3:45 p.m. Ellis was standing outside his hardware when a motorcycle drove up with 2 men aboard. Police said 1 man alighted, approached the businessman and opened gunfire. Both men then escaped on said motorcycle in the direction of Spanish Town. Ellis was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police said robbery did not seem to be the motive, as there was no indication that the now deceased was robbed. 21-year-old man leads Clarendons Most Wanted. A 21-year-old man leads the list of Clarendons Most Wanted criminals. Commanding officer for Clarendon, Acting Senior Superintendent Carlos Russell, yesterday disclosed that Romain John Murray, otherwise called John Tom, of Comfort District in Osborne Store, is wanted for several homicides, including the March murder of Manchester businessman Jerome Bassier, who was shot dead in Tollgate. Murray is also wanted for wounding with intent. Speaking at a press conference hosted at the Mapen police station, Russell told reporters that Murray's capture could solve some 8 murders across the parish. The other wanted men are 26-year-old Panif Broomfield, also known as Chang, of Buzz Rock in Effortville, who is wanted for shooting with intent and robbery with aggravation. Broomfield is also wanted for shooting and injuring a police sergeant. Jabulani Dyer, otherwise called Jabo, of Woodall District in Chapelton, who is wanted for wounding with intent. Steve Leonard Francis, 40, of Sunset Crescent in Four Parts, who is wanted for murder and assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. Orkney Murray of 9 Turns, who is wanted for wounding with intent. These men are considered to be armed and dangerous, and we're asking anyone who knows the whereabouts of these individuals to contact us. We are also warning persons that it is an offense to harbor a fugitive, said Russell. Johnson Smith facing lawsuit over donations for a failed bid to be elected Commonwealth Secretary General. A suit has been filed in the Supreme Court to compel the government to come clean over donations for the failed bid of Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith to be elected Commonwealth Secretary General. Johnson-Smith ran an unsuccessful campaign to unseat the current Secretary General in a multi-million-dollar effort that saw her traveling to several countries to show up support from Commonwealth leaders. The costly endeavor was supported by donations from several quarters, including the Muslim group Grace Kennedy and the businessman Keith Duncan. An attempt was made by US-based Jamaican Wilfred Rattigan through the Access to Information Act to obtain full disclosure on the donors and the amount of money pumped into the campaign of Johnson Smith. The Ministry of Finance indicated that it was not in possession of any documents detailing the source of the donations. Attorney for Rattigan, Sophia Bryan, says the suit was filed so the state and its representatives can answer questions surrounding their failure to file the relevant documents in accordance with the applicable legislation. 2 more arrested in facing multi-million-dollar fraud. The police on Wednesday reported that 2 additional people have been charged in the ongoing multi-million-dollar fraud investigation at Facey Commodity Limited. Investigators believe the company was defrauded of approximately $160 million. Charge of 41-year-old Andre Green and the 28-year-old Adrian Nelson, both truck drivers. This brings the total of people charged in relation to the matter to 23. During a press conference last Thursday, Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey said on May 16, 2022, the management of Facey parent company, Seprod, called in the police to probe what was believed to be fraudulent activities carried out by employees in the van sales department at the company. He added that between April 12 and April 13, members of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch CTOC conducted special operations across Clarendon, St. Catherine and the corporate area, where 17 individuals were arrested in connection with the pilfering and unauthorized selling of goods. MOCHA names latest persons arrested in $222 million in sports fraud. An employee at the Institute of Sports in Sports is one of 2 people who were arrested and charged on Thursday by the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCHA in connection with the $222 million fraud racket committed between 2011 and 2017. The suspects are Janique Mills and Andrea Picton, who have both been charged with conspiracy to defraud. Mills is facing an additional charge of forgery. Mills was picked up at her home, while Picton was arrested at InSports, where she was an employee. As this arrest brings to 5 the number of people who have been arrested and charged for allegedly defrauding the entity of over $222 million. On Wednesday, MOCHA announced that 3 people, including popular Chugit and French Connection party promoter Andrew Wright, along with Rudolph Barnes and O'Neill Hope, had been arrested in connection with the fraud. Allegations are that the 3 men were part of a team of former employees of InSports who wrote, signed, and encashed fraudulent checks for payees were neither employees nor contracted workers of the entity. The suspected fraud and other irregularities were reportedly detected by InSports in 2017 during an examination of their financial records. The matter was then reported to MOCHA, triggering an investigation. According to Major Basil Jarrett, Director of Communications at MOCHA, Thursday's operations were carried out with diligence, precision and professionalism and demonstrate the agency's commitment to bringing the perpetrators to justice. Meanwhile, Sports Minister Olivier Grange, while commenting on the arrest and charges of the individuals, stated that the alleged irregularities took place during a time when the entity was considered a rogue agency. I await the outcome of the process, Grange said in a statement on Wednesday evening. Grange pointed out that in 2016, when the current government returned to power, she received a special audit of InSports done by the Auditor General, which showed an organization that was continually breaking the law, badly managed, and in need of urgent transformation. I understand that the arrests and charges are linked to that period when InSport was considered a rogue agency. Under our watch, the Institute of Sports is a completely transformed agency with improved internal controls, is well run, and delivering its mandate of delivering sports at the grassroots, she stated. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.